A retired educator in Clark County had her property stolen, not by an intruder, not by the lender. Someone fabricated a deed on her house, carried it into the county recorder's office, submitted it, and the county processed it. No verification whatsoever. By the time she demonstrated she still owned her own home, she was $4,000 deep in attorney costs. And the system that would have detected it in 24 hours was free. It was available the whole time. Nobody informed her about it. That woman is not an exception. She is what occurs when a retiree with a paid-off property does not know about 5 critical documents that could have safeguarded everything she spent her lifetime creating. If you own your home, particularly if it is paid off, you are the most appealing target on your street. Not the renter next door, not the family with an underwater mortgage. You. Your paid-off house is not a fortress. It is an unprotected vault. And today, I am going to reveal the 5 documents that secure it. This video is for informational purposes only and is not tax or financial guidance. Speak with a qualified professional before making any decisions about your individual situation. Every week, I break down the tax regulations, the financial pitfalls, and the strategies that shield retirees from the things nobody else is covering. If that sounds like something you need, press the subscribe button right now and activate notifications so you never miss a video. Now, let me clarify why retirees with paid-off homes are the primary target, and then I will guide you through all 5 documents. Here is what a paid-off house looks like to the wrong individuals. It is searchable in public records. Anyone can locate it in 30 seconds online. The equity is apparent. There is no lender lien on it, safeguarding the ownership chain. And statistically, the owner is over 55, possibly living alone, and has never encountered the words Homestead Declaration. If they have encountered them, they most likely do not understand what they signify or what they are intended for. There are 3 groups that can pursue your home equity: scammers who fabricate deeds and steal your property outright, creditors who attach judgments from medical bills, lawsuits, or personal debts to your house, the government, including the IRS and your own county, who can impose liens, levy your property, or seize it for unpaid taxes. 5 documents shield you from all 3. Most of them are free. Most of them require less than an hour to file. And the distinction between having them and not having them is the distinction between retaining your home and losing it. Let me begin with the most critical one most retirees have never encountered. Document number 1, the Homestead Declaration. When you submit a Homestead Declaration at your county recorder's office, state law shields a specific portion of your primary residence equity from most unsecured creditors. Medical bill collectors, civil judgments, personal loan recovery companies, they cannot access that shielded equity. The amount differs by state. Florida and Texas shield unlimited equity on your primary residence. That means if your house is valued at $1 million and it is your primary home, creditors cannot compel a sale to collect on unsecured debts. Ohio shields $182,625. Nevada shields $605,000. Massachusetts shields $1 million for homeowners over 62. California's protection spans from $361,000 to $722,000, depending on your county's median home price. Some states offer as little as $5,000, but most states have some version of this provision, and most homeowners have never submitted it. Here is what the Homestead Declaration does not accomplish. It does not halt mortgage foreclosure. It does not halt the IRS from collecting on a federal tax lien. Those creditors have their own lien entirely. But the judgment from a slip and fall lawsuit, the medical collection company that just secured a court order, the credit card company that won a default judgment against you, that equity can become legally untouchable before they ever discover it. 1 page, notarized, submitted at your county recorder's office, free in most states. It requires about 30 minutes and it could shield hundreds of thousands of dollars of your equity. When affluent people purchase a home, their attorney submits the Homestead Declaration before they depart the title company. It is not optional on their checklist. It is simply completed. For most retirees, nobody ever indicated it existed. If you are over 60, visit your county recorder's website this week and search Homestead Declaration. Locate the form, complete it, get it notarized, submit it. 30 minutes, that is document 1. Document number 2, the property fraud alert. This is the one that would have spared that retired educator in Clark County $4,000 and months of anxiety. Here is how the fraud scheme actually operates. Scammers search public records for free and clear properties. It requires about 30 seconds online. They look specifically for older owners. They fabricate a deed, they carry it into the recorder's office. And in most counties, documents are processed first and verified never. The county accepts it because there is no mechanism in place to challenge it. Then the scammer either secures a hard money loan against your property or attempts to sell it outright. By the time you discover it, they have already borrowed against your equity or transferred your deed to someone else, and you are spending thousands of dollars in attorney costs proving you still own your own home. The solution is remarkably straightforward. Most counties in America now provide a free property fraud alert program. Visit your county's website, search Property Fraud Alert, register, enter your name and property details, and you are finished. 5 minutes, no expense. From that moment forward, you receive an email notification within 24 hours anytime anyone records anything against your property. A deed, a lien, a transfer, anything. That single notification would have detected the fraud against the Clark County educator the same day it occurred. She would have contacted the recorder's office, flagged the fabricated deed, and the entire ordeal would have been averted. Here is the part that should disturb you. Your county has your name in their property records. They know you own your home. They have never once mailed you a letter about this free program. Not when you purchased the home, not when you paid off the mortgage, not when you turned 65, never. Go register today. It requires 5 minutes and it costs nothing. Now, before I proceed to document 3, I need to address something the original version of this guidance always omits: the IRS. If you owe back taxes, the IRS can submit a federal tax lien against your home. A federal tax lien is a legal claim against everything you own, including your house. It attaches automatically when you owe taxes and do not pay after the IRS delivers you a bill. Once it is submitted, it becomes public record. It impacts your credit. It makes it nearly impossible to sell or refinance your home without paying the IRS first. For retirees, this is more prevalent than you realize. You miss an estimated tax payment, you complete a Roth conversion and neglect to pay the tax. You receive a lump sum Social Security payment that elevates you into a higher bracket, and you do not modify your withholding. The IRS delivers a bill, you do not open the letter. 6 months later, there is a lien on your home. In 2025, the IRS issued over 760,000 levies. That includes bank accounts, wages, and Social Security benefits. And federal tax liens were placed on hundreds of thousands of properties. Retirees on fixed incomes are disproportionately impacted because they often do not have the cash flow to settle an unexpected tax bill quickly. The solution is straightforward. Stay current on your taxes. Open every letter from the IRS. If you owe money, establish a payment plan immediately. An installment agreement prevents the IRS from escalating as long as you are making payments. And if you already have a lien, consult a tax professional about getting it released or subordinated. The Homestead Declaration I just outlined in Document 1 does not shield you from the IRS federal tax liens override state homestead protections. That is why staying current on your taxes is the foundation beneath everything else in this video. If the IRS comes first, nothing else matters. Document number 3, enhanced title insurance. When you purchased your home, you received a standard title insurance policy at closing. Most homeowners accepted whatever the title company presented to them without realizing that other options existed. A standard policy is backward-looking. It covers defects that existed before you purchased the house, forgery that occurred before closing, hidden liens from a prior owner, but it does not cover what occurs after you close. If someone fabricates a deed on your property next year or 5 years from now, your standard title insurance does not cover it. You are on your own. An enhanced owner's policy looks forward. It covers forgery of documents after closing, identity theft transfers, fraudulent deed conveyances that occur in the future, and in most cases, it covers the attorney costs to contest it, which can reach $20,000 to $40,000 or more. This one is not free. It costs money to upgrade. But here's the question you should pose to your title company this week. Is my current policy standard or enhanced? If it is standard, what does an upgrade cost? 1 phone call, 5 minutes. If the answer saves you $40,000 in attorney costs down the road, it was the best 5-minute phone call you ever made. Document number 4, the revocable living trust. This one is specifically about keeping your home out of probate and making it harder for anyone to locate and target your property. When your home is titled in your personal name, it is public record. Anyone can search it. Scammers, creditors, collection companies, they all begin with a public record search. When your home is held in a revocable living trust, your personal name does not appear as the direct owner in the property records. The trust name appears instead. You still own the home. You still reside in it. You still control it completely. Nothing changes in your daily life. The transfer is still recorded and partially searchable, but it adds a layer of complexity that makes you a much more difficult target for scammers conducting quick public record searches. This matters for 2 reasons. First, scammers searching for elderly homeowners with free and clear properties will bypass a trust-owned home because it does not resemble an easy target. Second, when you pass away, your home transfers to your heirs without going through probate. No court proceedings, no public record of the transfer, no delays. A revocable living trust does require an attorney to establish properly. It typically costs between $1,000 and $3,000 depending on your state. But compare that to probate, which can cost 3 to 5% of your estate value. On a $500,000 home, that is up to $25,000 in probate expenses versus $2,000 to establish the trust. One important clarification: a revocable living trust does not shield your assets from creditors during your lifetime. That is what the Homestead Declaration is for. The trust and the Homestead Declaration serve distinct purposes. The Homestead Declaration shields equity from creditors. The trust avoids probate, adds privacy, and assists with estate planning. You want both. If you already have a trust, verify your home is actually titled in the trust's name. I cannot tell you how many retirees have a trust document sitting in a drawer, but never transferred the deed. The trust only functions if the property is in it. Confirm with your attorney. And there is one additional reason a trust matters specifically for retirees in 2026. The estate tax exemption is currently $15 million. Most retirees are well below that, but many states have their own estate or inheritance taxes with much lower thresholds. Pennsylvania has a 4.5% inheritance tax that begins at $1. There is no exemption, no threshold. Everything you leave to your children gets taxed. A properly structured trust combined with other estate planning strategies can reduce or eliminate that state-level tax obligation. Without a trust, your heirs go through probate, which is public, slow, and expensive, and then pay the inheritance tax on top of it. With a trust, the transfer is private, immediate, and your attorney can incorporate strategies that minimize the tax. Document number 5, the tax redemption record. This is the one that should make you pay attention. In 2023, a case called Tyler versus Hennepin County reached the Supreme Court. A 94-year-old woman in Minnesota fell behind on her property taxes. The county seized her condo, sold it for $40,000, paid themselves the $15,000 she owed in back taxes and penalties, and kept the remaining $25,000 in equity that was rightfully hers. 9 justices ruled unanimously that this was unconstitutional. The county was taking more than what was owed. The ruling changed the law. States are now required to return surplus equity after a tax forfeiture sale. But here is where it gets troubling. States are implementing this at wildly different speeds. Some have not fully updated their statutes, some have not even begun. And the redemption window, the period during which you can pay back taxes and reclaim your property, still has a deadline. Most people who need it do not discover it until that window is already closed. For retirees, this is especially hazardous. If you fall behind on property taxes because of a medical emergency or spouse passing away, the county can initiate the seizure process. The timeline varies by state, but it can move faster than you anticipate. The documents to monitor are your county's tax delinquency notice, any notice of federal tax lien if applicable, and your state's right of redemption timeline. Know the deadlines in your state. Know how much time you have, and if you receive a delinquency notice, do not disregard it. Respond immediately. And here is something most retirees do not realize. Almost every state in America provides a property tax homestead exemption for seniors, that lowers your annual property tax bill. In Texas, the over 65 homestead exemption can lower your home's taxable value by $200,000 or more. Florida freezes your property tax assessment. Georgia provides a full exemption from school taxes for seniors over 62. New York just expanded its senior exemption to up to 65% of assessed value starting in 2026. These exemptions are not automatic. You have to apply. In many states, the deadline for 2026 is April 30th. If you have been paying full property taxes since you turned 65 and never applied, you have been overpaying. Call your county assessor this week. Let me consolidate it all together. Here is your checklist. 5 documents, 1 afternoon. 1. Submit a homestead declaration at your county recorder's office. Free in most states shields your equity from unsecured creditors. Look up the form on your county's website. 2. Register for property fraud alerts through your county. Free, 5 minutes. Get notified within 24 hours if anyone submits anything against your property. 3. Call your title company and inquire if your policy is standard or enhanced. If it is standard, inquire what an upgrade costs. 1 phone call. 4. If you do not have a revocable living trust, consult an estate planning attorney about establishing one. If you already have one, verify your home is actually titled in the trust's name. 5. Check your property tax status. Ensure you are not delinquent. Ensure you have applied for every senior exemption you are entitled to. Know your state's redemption timeline. None of this requires a team of lawyers. None of it requires being wealthy. It requires treating 5 pieces of paper as non-negotiable instead of optional. The gap between the retiree who retains everything and the one who loses it is not money. It is the checklist. If this video helped you, press the like button right now. It takes 1 second and it helps this video reach more retirees who need to hear it. If you are not subscribed yet, press subscribe and activate the bell so you do not miss the next one. If you know a retiree who owns their home, send them this video today, not tomorrow. Today. Drop a comment. Have you submitted a homestead declaration? Have you registered for fraud alerts? Tell me which document you are filing first. I read every single one, and the most common situations become future videos. I will see you in the next one.